Hi everyone, my name's Sarah. I'm a blogger from London. My blog's called apieceofsarah.com, and today I'm going to talk about a few ways that you can transform your life. I did a post on this about a week ago or so, and it got a lot of attention, so I'm assuming everyone wants to hear about it, so I thought let me make a video about it. So these are 9 ways to transform your life. 1. Take accountability for your actions. A lot of people, myself included at some point in my life, really, they just lack accountability. Like, they always want to play victim. Everything bad that happens to them is never their fault. Someone's feelings towards them, let's say they've done someone wrong, that's the other person's problem. They didn't do anything wrong. And all of these things, playing victim all the time, not apologising when you've done something wrong, never accepting when something is your fault, all of these things add up, basically. And when you lack accountability, you only fool yourself. So a great way to transform your life is to actually take accountability for your actions. Whether if you've done someone wrong, apologise. It literally will save you relationships, friendships, could save you your career depending on what you're doing. So yes, accountability is such an important thing. Like, one thing I've noticed with accountability, a lot of people, instead of creating time to do stuff, they won't do it. And then when things go wrong, they'll say, oh, this happened because of this and this happened because of that, and I felt this because I didn't do this. No, I felt this because someone did this, instead of admitting that they did not make enough time for the stuff that they did not do. Like, I guess the way I hold myself accountable, when I don't make enough time for the things I don't do, I just say I didn't make enough time, and that's really it. Like, what else can I do? So accountability is super important. The next one is treat your time like money and invest it well. So we only get one life. So what we really must all do is really treat our time like money and invest it well. Whether it's going to the gym, having fun with friends, making time for our goals, making time for our career, making time for family, just doing stuff that betters our life. Like, maybe it's going to church, I really don't know, but we really only get one life, and our life is finite. Like, we're all going to die one day. It's unfortunate but true. Sorry to be morbid, but if we're being honest with ourselves, so we might as well use our time to benefit us. Like, no one wants to go to the end of their life and feel like, oh, I wish I did this and I should have done that. Like, we should all try and avoid living a life full of regrets. Okay, next one. Stop procrastinating. So procrastination is something that even I deal with, to be honest with you. I procrastinate. But procrastination, there's 2 quotes that I've heard on this which really made me think. I still procrastinate though, but still, there's 2 quotes I've heard on procrastination that really stopped me in my tracks. So one of the ones that was quite recent is something along the lines of, the opportunity cost of procrastination is the life you could have lived. Or maybe it's just the cost of procrastination is the life you could have lived. Saw that on Twitter. And the other one was, procrastination is the foolish assumption that God will give you the chance to do tomorrow what he gave you the chance to do today, which is essentially saying that you could die at any time. Do what you can while you still can. Okay, so procrastination, it's a thief of time and quality. It's a thief of time because a lot of the time when we procrastinate and we leave stuff until the last minute, it's a lot of easy stuff. Or it's, let's say you've procrastinated about revising, so when you should have revised, you didn't revise, you fail an exam, and now you have to revise again, you know? So that's a waste of time. Thief of quality, stuff that could have been of high value, whether it's work, again, exams, maybe procrastinating going to the gym and then you leave it until the gym, like 30 minutes until closing, when you could have, you know, had a great hour workout, depending on you, obviously. So yeah, procrastination is a big thief of time and quality. Whether it's just a big thief of time and quality. Next. Okay. Set boundaries and learn how to say no. So as someone who really loves setting boundaries now, and I enjoy saying no to people now, because in reality, my life is mine, my time is mine, my money is mine, and nobody is entitled to my time, my money, or my space. So when it comes down to setting boundaries, you have to really understand that this life is yours and yours alone. You know, you really need to realize that by constantly bending over backwards for people, and constantly not setting boundaries, and constantly saying yes to things that you want to say no to, you're doing a huge disservice to yourself. So that is a great way to transform your life. Friendships are really important. Like, they have an effect on your health, your stress levels, your happiness, and I guess that's why I'm always being skeptical of who I've called my friend, and, you know, who I invite into my life, because a lot of people are wolves in sheep's clothing, if we're being perfectly honest. Like, obviously there's some great people out there, and, you know, they're lovely, you click, everything's great, but there's people out there who are wolves in sheep's clothing, who are there to devour you, and that's the type of people you need to avoid. Okay, so there are about 4 or 5 types of friends you need to avoid. The really negative friend, the friend who gives really bad advice, the friend who can't take constructive criticism, the emotional freeloader. One day I'll do a topic on this, but the emotional freeloader is essentially someone who's extremely emotional, and they constantly, like, drown you in, like, oh god, their sorrows and, you know, all their issues and all of these things, but they're never available for things that are important to you, like your birthday, or, you know, just anything that's important. Like, suddenly they'll go AWOL, you know. So those are emotional freeloaders. I cannot stand them. Avoid them like the plague. Literally, when you see one and you notice, just run. Just run. Those are people who are there to drain you of your time and energy, and they want you to be a listening ear, but they're not there for you in the same way. And lastly, I've still forgotten what the other friend is that you need to avoid, but just avoid all of those people. Not everyone in this life is supposed to be your friend. Okay. Self-love to me is making my happiness and well-being a priority whilst learning to love my strengths and flaws. It's taking the time to rest and recover to prevent burning out. It's making the conscious decision to commit to being the best possible person I can be. Saying no to mediocrity, negative self-talk, and remembering I deserve the love I give myself. Or I deserve the love I give so freely to others. That is what self-love is. Making sure that you love yourself regardless. Making sure you love yourself regardless of what you're going through. You love your strengths, you love your flaws, you accept yourself. You don't love yourself with conditions attached. Like, you don't love yourself when it's just like, oh, I love myself more when I lose weight. Love yourself now. I love myself when I don't know, become an accountant, become a barrister, get the job I want, finally live the dream life I want. All of these things. No, 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 no. Love yourself now. Love yourself while you're in the process. All of these things, it's self-love is so important, essentially, is what I'm trying to say. Self-doubt steals more dreams than failure ever will, because self-doubt is horrible. Like, it paralyzes you from taking opportunities because you don't feel you're good enough. And what's crazy about self-doubt is, while you're there thinking you're not good enough to take an opportunity, someone else who doesn't have the same skill set as you, might not have the same experience as you, all of these things, is going to take that opportunity because they believed in themselves. So yeah, self-doubt steals more dreams than failure ever will. So stop doubting yourself. When self-doubt comes, interrupt that thought pattern. Try and figure out, why do you feel that way? When self-doubt comes, think of all the times you've won in life. And also think about other people who have done well in life. Like, they don't have 2 heads. Like, you can always look to them for inspiration. Use the resources around you. So a great way to transform your life is using the resources around you. And by resources around you, I mean Google and YouTube. so many answers in this life are on Google and YouTube. It is one of the best free resources ever. Like, I cannot say Google and YouTube enough. It's like when I get asked something and I'm like, oh, have you Googled it? And someone says no, I'm like, what? Like, Google has everything. Google and YouTube, like, you're not, 9 times out of 10, you're not the first person to think of something or go through something. Someone else has thought of the same thing and they've put up a tutorial on it on YouTube. And lastly, last but definitely not least, don't hide from your finances. So, finances are important. Don't hide from them. Don't hide from your bank balance. Look at your bank account statement when it comes in and see where exactly your money is going, because if you do not audit your money the same way you audit your time, your money will leave you. And there's literally nothing worse than getting paid and then 4 days later you're like, where the hell did my money go? So yes, yeah, don't hide from your finances. Don't be one of those people, e.g. me, who just enjoys spending money on clothes. I've actually cut down now in September. But don't spend all your money on like things that don't have any value to you. I hope you've enjoyed this video on 9 quick ways, well not quick, but 9 ways to transform your life. My name's Sarah, blogs apieceofsarah.com, and I hope you enjoyed it.